If you're new to Battlefield 2 and you just want to know how to play the game and get an easy to understand quick tutorial, well then this is the video for you.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Alright, let's start with the first menu. Now, at the top you've got Home, Play, Collection, Career, Options, but at the very top left you'll see a friends list. You click on your friends list and that coincides with your Origin friend list. You can click Invite, get them in the party, and you can have a maximum of 4 people. You'll also see that there's a quick match and 2 other modes you can play on the right. These modes sometimes change. At the very bottom you'll see 3 daily quests that you can play. These daily quests earn a whole bunch of XP and they're highly recommended that you play them when you can. Under the play section you'll see single player. You have campaign mode, instant action, and arcade. These are all great modes to start learning the game and get in and see what kind of heroes you like to play as. Co-op missions, of course, are excellent to play with your friends. It's really easy to understand what maps mean what. At the very top, all those are for the Alliance, and at the very bottom, all of those are for the dark side. And then if you look at the far left, that column up down means it's the old age, the medium column is the Darth Vader middle age, and the right column is the new age. So if you want to play as Rey, you're probably just going to only be able to play in the upper right box, because those are the maps that will let you play as a Jedi in the new age, and she's a Jedi from the new age. So it's pretty easy to understand once you get it. Moving forward, you've got Supremacy, Heroes and Villains, and more. Supremacy is all about a 20 versus 20 match. If you control a whole bunch of different points on the map, you'll gain score faster, as you can see here. As soon as your score reaches 100 before the other teams, you win that round. You then have to go to the defensive side ship and defeat them there. So think of it as a tug of war going back and forth between the middle, the left, and the right. So you're going to have to win at least 2 rounds in a row in order to win Supremacy.
You have your moments. Not many of them, but you do have them.
Heroes and Villains lets you play a few different modes. Hero Starfighters, which is a lot of aerial combat. Heroes versus Villains, which is actually 4 versus 4, so choose your own Star Wars hero and fight to the death. And then you also have Heroes Showdown, which is 2 versus 2, and you can't play the same characters that you just won as, so it's a little bit more strategic. If you want to just play with your heroes, then just stick with Heroes and Villains. Moving onward to the collection page, this is where you can choose all the different characters in the entire game, and this is where you can customize them. You can choose things like victory poses, appearances, and emotes. Let's say you win and you're in the top 5 and you want a really cool victory pose, well, this is where you change it. This is what determines what you look like. The same thing can be said for your overall appearance. This is where you can go in, find the hero you want or the soldier, and choose which kind of appearance you like. Whatever your tastes, just click on the appearance, click on the style, and hit equip. It's that simple. When talking about cards on characters and on troops, what you're going to want to do is eventually unlock everything. This is why you want to grind XP no matter what. So let's see, for example, here I have a card that I can upgrade to maximum. Now the key is making sure you're using a card that works towards your advantage of game style. If you want to play as a gunner, I like to play with cards that give me more battle points, so that way when I'm on the battlefield, I can quickly accelerate my points to afford buying the hero that I want to play as, so that way I can play as the hero quicker and for longer periods of time. It's really important to figure out which hero really works for you. All the heroes are very different. And once you think you found your speciality, then just focus on that character and keep on leveling. Once you get to around level 30, you should have all the cards unlocked, which will really let you open up and see what you like about the character or don't like. That being said, let's just get into what I think are the best ways to play Battlefront when first starting. Let's talk about soldiers. Personally, gunner. If you're going to be doing PvE, i.e. co-op games, just use a gunner. The gunner is one of the fastest ways to kill people from long distances and short. It gives you a shield. You still have the mobility of dodging things just like you would with any other soldier, but you can really crank out the damage. PvE has a problem where they like to just dump mobs on you. So when you have a big meat pile of soldiers in your face, it's hard to chew through them really fast without having a gunner. So I would recommend the heavy class gunner. It's probably the best way to play on PvE. The sniper really stands out in PvP, however, where players play a lot differently obviously than the computer, and they're a little bit more agile and moving around and people are more sparse, so it's harder to hit your targets. Everyone's not grouped together as much, so it's much easier to play, I think, as a sniper in PvP than a gunner. Let's talk about the heroes. Which ones do I think are the best? Which ones do I think are worth it? Well, to be blunt, I played every single class, and after playing all the classes and having almost 100 hours in the game, I just kind of gravitated towards a few different ones that I felt were easier to play, and these are the ones that I felt were the best. The best shooter, hands down, seemed to be Leia.
Don't get cocky.
Now, don't get me wrong, Han can really pack a punch, but I didn't really like playing with him that much because I felt like he didn't have enough to keep himself out of trouble. Leia has a bubble that you can place down, which really helps block a bunch of shots. It can help give you a chance or your allies to recharge and hide from overall damage. Leia just had more options, and I felt like she dished out quite a bit of damage with her pistol. So I would say Leia seems to be the best shooter for the light side. For the dark side, the only one that I thought could compete really well was Phasma. She has a great electric trap she can place down, which will block pretty much anyone from getting in and stun them for a while. She also has the ability to zoom in while rapid firing. This makes it much easier to try to control the battlefield and really snipe your targets. Now what about the best Jedi or the best Sith? Well, this gets a little crazy. When it comes to 4v4s, PvP, I personally gravitated towards Rey and Yoda. I felt that those two really had different playstyles altogether, and both playstyles were pretty nasty when you got to play them the right way. Now, Yoda can be really nasty, but he's more of a defensive unit, and you need a good team to play him, because Yoda's going to be one of the best support classes you can have, and if you don't have someone to support, well, then Yoda can't really stand out too well on his own. That being said, I felt like Rey could stand out pretty good too. She's not incredibly tanky, she's kind of a glass cannon, but if you play her right and you learn how to dodge really well, she's really nasty. And I'm sure certain characters work really good with other characters. I just really didn't have the time to find the perfect combination, but I felt like she stood out as the best. When dealing with best Jedi for PvE, i.e. co-op, I found that Finn had an amazing buff, although he's kind of boring to play because it feels like you're playing a soldier. He really stood out as the best support I could possibly play. He would give everyone a whole bunch of extra shields, and he had a pretty cool lock-on ability that let you just pretty much unload on someone if you bumped into another hero. So he's pretty good. However, if you want to have a little bit more fun, I recommend playing Yoda on PvE. He has a shield ability that lets you absorb all blaster fire, and it charges up really fast, although it diminishes quickly. But if you're in a hallway with a whole bunch of guys and they charge that blaster up and you let it go, you can pretty much take out 10 to 20 troops in one shot. When it comes down to the Sith, 4 versus 4 PvP, I found that I gravitated towards Count Dooku. Dooku seemed to just be a crit monster. Every time I hit someone, they just dumped. I felt like Dooku was a glass cannon, however, and couldn't really hold up too well when getting hit. But if you get really good at dodging, just like we talked about with Rey, again, he seems to really hold his own. I found that some of the best way to play with him and Rey was to kind of play sneakily. Turn off your lightsaber by pressing G, and try to hide. Don't let people hear or see you as much, and if you can sneak up on someone with Count Dooku or Rey, it's over. For starting people, I would recommend playing Vader. When I first started playing, I liked playing him because he was very tanky, he had a lot of health, he's not incredibly maneuverable, but he did have what it takes to really help support the group, even if you're a scrub and you're brand new. For best Sith PvE, however, I felt like Kylo Ren's ability to pull people out of situations was really cool. That helped kind of break up those bottleneck situations where you can't really get in there's too many soldiers and everyone's in the way. If you combine that with the freeze ability and all of your other teammates are nearby, you can really clear out an area quick. So Kylo really does have an amazing ability in PvE to kind of break up those bottlenecks. The Emperor also is great at this, but from a distance. If he gets too close to anyone, he'll just melt. So it's best to play the Emperor at a distance. He's also a glass cannon.
Now, at the end, do you understand?
Best soldier. Hands down, the Heavy. The Heavy wins for sure because it's just a monster. It has its own personal shield, it has a Gatling gun ability that lets you spray bullets at rapid fire all over the map. The range is just about as good as a sniper rifle, which is insane, and OP in my opinion. All in all, I feel like the Heavy Gunner is something that can just get you started, at the very least. Also, footnote, if you'd like to add a different custom skin to your character, this is how you do it. All you do is go to this Nexus Mods website, make sure you download the skin that you want for your character, then download Frosty Mods. Once you have that installed, all you have to do is run Frosty Mods, take the files that you downloaded from Nexus Mods, extract it, put it in the folder, import it, and then apply it. Then make sure you launch from the Frosty Mods modifier. That's it. Then when you're in the game, your character will look the way you saw it, as long as it's compatible. That's all I've got. Hopefully this helps some of you new players out there. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to join me on Twitch or leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like if this helped you. Until next time, may the Force be with you.